I made a covenant with my eyes. How then should I look at a virgin? For what is the portion from God above, and the heritage from the Almighty on high? Is it not calamity to the unrighteous, and disaster to the workers of iniquity? Doesn't he see my ways and number all my steps? If I have walked with falsehood, and my foot has hurried to deceit, let me be weighed in an even balance, that God may know my integrity. If my step has turned out of the way, and my heart walked after my eyes, and if any spot has stuck to my hands, then let me sow, and let another eat. Yes, let the produce of my field be rooted out. If my heart has been enticed to a woman, and I have laid wait at my fellow man's door, then let my wife grind to another, and let others have sex with her. For that were a heinous crime. Yes, it were an iniquity to be punished by the judges. For it is a fire that consumes to destruction, and would root out all my increase. If I have despised the cause of my male slave or of my female slave, when they contended with me, what then shall I do when God rises up? And when he visits, what shall I answer him? Did not he who made me in the womb make him? And did not one fashion us in the womb? If I have withheld the poor from their desire, or have caused the eyes of the widow to fail, or have eaten my morsel alone, and the fatherless has not eaten of it. No, from my youth he grew up with me as with a father, and her I have guided from my mother's womb. If I have seen any perish for want of clothing, or that the needy had no covering, if his loins haven't blessed me, and if he has not been warmed with the fleece of my sheep, if I have lifted up my hand against the fatherless, because I saw my help in the gate, then let my shoulder fall from the shoulder blade, and my arm be broken from the bone. For calamity from God is a terror to me, and by reason of his splendor I can do nothing. If I have made gold my hope, and have said to the fine gold, you are my confidence. If I have rejoiced because my wealth was great, and because my hand had gotten much, if I have seen the sun when it shined, or the moon walking in brightness, and my heart has been secretly enticed, and my mouth has kissed my hand, this also was an iniquity to be punished by the judges, for I should have denied the God who is above. If I have rejoiced at the destruction of him who hated me, or lifted up myself when evil found him, yes, I haven't allowed my mouth to sin by asking for his soul with a curse. If the men of my tent haven't said, who can find one who has not been filled with his meat? The sojourner has not lodged in the street, but I have opened my doors to the traveler. If like man I have covered my transgressions by hiding my iniquity in my bosom, because I feared the great multitude, and the contempt of families terrified me, so that I kept silent and didn't go out of the door. Oh, that I had one to hear me! Look, here is my signature, let the Almighty answer me, and that I had the indictment which my adversary has written. Surely I would carry it on my shoulder, I would bind it to me as a crown. I would declare to him the number of my steps. As a leader I would go near to him. If my land cries out against me, and its furrows weep together, if I have eaten its fruits without silver, or have caused its owners to breathe out their soul, let thistles grow instead of wheat, and cockle instead of barley. The words of Job are ended.